Another solar video, first one in quite a while, on something that needs to be done this time of year, late fall, leaves coming down, because not getting much power out of your solar array. Granted, it's really dark and overcast and 7 something a.m. But these are preliminary numbers. And this is the cleaning process. Just cheap squeegee taped to the end of a scrap piece of rigid PVC electrical conduit, and just clean all the leaves and shmoo off of the modules. And repeat for the several dozen of these that I have in productive use at this time. It's also a good time to scrub down the surface of the module with the brush, or the foam thing. Get rid of dust. Not so much pollen at this time of year, but that's an issue in the spring. Micrometeorites, just usual shmoo and effluvia which will accumulate on surfaces. And a couple minutes later, is that array done? And there's the sun power array cleaned off. Ultimately going to be extending this way. So I've got an extra pair of conductors in the conduit there. Granted, it's only 6 amperes per string, so I could easily get away with more. But less resistive losses, and again, every watt counts, especially in the not too distant future where this will be my primary source of electricity. Fun, because rioting communists. And also, while you're out inspecting your equipment, make sure that all the balance of system shmoo is in good nick. No leaks in fuse boxes or breaker panels, anything having caught fire, problems that can happen. And also, while you're out cleaning your equipment, make sure that all the wiring is still in good nick. EMP suppressors on the PV modules in their proper locations if you have an EMP hardened system, which you should, especially given how China is presently imploding. And it's probably going to try and drag the rest of the world down with them. So yeah, make sure that all the wiring is carpus ventus. And also, this is the advantage of ground mount PV arrays, because this is all stuffed up under a roof. Or on a roof, it would be really hard and annoying to get to. So yeah, very important, especially for emergency power stuff like this. And after cleaning the PV arrays off, getting a bit more electricity. This is something which is more important to do, especially around midday, or at least check on things midday. But always good to keep the surface of your PV arrays clean, which is where ground mount is extremely useful. And overall, 12K is still doing its job, although one annoying thing in a firmware update a couple months ago is there's the smart load meter on the metering screen, but it can't display anything because the Sol-Ark doesn't have any CTs on the generator connection. So that's kind of a waste of screen real estate. But so definitely something to consider adding in a future hardware revision. And other than that, everything else still pretty much doing its job. No real electrical changes to the system, although I am keeping an eye out on a deal on, or keeping an eye out for deals on zero export capable grid tie inverters, so that I can just wire them in to this electricity meter box, because I'd be using the meter pane as a junction box to supplement what the Sol-Ark is capable of generating, at least during daylight hours. And should I find one, then I will be doing a video on that and how to increase the daytime load capabilities of the Sol-Ark, which is especially important for those of you who have a Sol-Ark 8K, because I've seen greps about how they'd have waited for the 12K because it's stackable. But yeah, a lot of stuff.